All right, we are live. Make sure my settings are working. There they are. Wait for some people to hop on today. I'm going to do a quick little overview, I guess, a little, helpful tips for people. Now I gotta wait for Facebook. All right, guys. So make sure you type in the comments. Let me know if you can hear me. I've been having some issues, little small issues with the mic. Just make sure you can hear me. Type it in the comments if you can hear me. Everyone. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Been about a minute. So my name is LaShawn Jenkins with the Notary Institution, and I coach and mentor Notary Signing Agents on creating their own Notary Signing Agent business. Today's video, I'm actually just wanted to go over exactly how to do general notary work. I'm just going to go over like a small overview about, just getting your business started if you just want to do general notary work. Now, I know you may not know this terminology depending on who's watching. I know I have new people, old people, but anyone that's here willing to learn, I will give this information to you. So general notary work, also known as GNW, as what you see as in the comments, is basically local notary work that you do within your area. It's not a loan closing, so it doesn't involve anything of you really to print out or anything like that. It's just work where the borrower, or not the borrower, where the client provides the document and you just go there to basically, verify their identity, and you also verify that they say who they are and then they sign. So I'm going to go over a few things. So in order to set your business up for general notary work, one thing is you want to make sure that you are listed on Google. I have the website right here where I can provide, and I want to show you exactly what does it look like when you're trying to list your business on Google. Now, when you're listing your business on Google, it's really created so that people in your local area can actually find you. Um, that's exactly what it's for. So people that can find you in your local area. In order to list your business on there is like a small little process that you go through. It takes about 3 to 5 business days at the most to list your business on Google. So this is the website. I did type it in the chat box. So this is what it looked like. And this is where you can create a business profile. So as you see right here, if you ever look up a business that you often go to, you'll be able to actually, and whenever you look up a business, right, that you actually shop at a lot of times you'll see Google, it will pop up on Google just like this. And that their business is popping up like that is because they created a Google profile. Okay, so I'm not sure if anyone had any questions. So here, you sign in. You pretty much want to sign up with your email address. For me, I'm already signed up, so my businesses are already here. But you'll sign up through your email address, and then they'll actually send you a verification code through the mail. And once you verify your business, then your business will actually show up on Google. It's a very easy and simple process to get started. Okay, so anyway, after you list your business on Google, normally, before you start taking any type of general notary work, my thing is first you want to make sure you have some type of invoicing system set up. So you want to make sure that you have a way that you're going to take payments and also send receipts to your clients. Majority of the states do require you to send a receipt for general notary work. Normally, it has to be some type of itemized receipt. So with that being said, you have to specify everything that you charge that client for. On that receipt needs to be, it needs to show it line by line on that receipt. So if someone came to you and they had six notarial acts, aka, maybe 6 documents, but not, I would say about 6 documents, right? You have to, on that receipt, you have to make sure if your state allows you to charge $6, per notarial act. For each notarial act, you need to write acknowledgement $6. Acknowledgement $6. It has to be broken down so the client can see exactly what they paid for. Sometimes if they pay for an extra signer, that will have to be on there also. If anyone have any questions about that, type them in the comments. I can see your comments, and I love answering your questions that you have here on the live while we're here on the live. So now, once we determine, how you're going to take the payments from the client, the next thing is you do want to make sure you at least have some type of phone number set up so they can receive the phone calls. Normally, I use Google Voice for everything. It's easy to use, easy to set up, and everything kind of is integrated with one another. Now, not only that, you want to make sure you also purchase some type of loose certificates. Now, you could either purchase them, or some states actually provide them on their Secretary of State website. So I want to show you an example of what the loose notary certificates are. Let me see, stop sharing. All right, so we're going to go over here. So this, I'm going to type in this website. So this is Notary Rotary. You can also go to the National Notary Association and purchase supplies. Notary Rotary is good too. I like Notary Rotary. Can you provide? Ma'am, to be honest, can I provide a sample of my receipts? I'm not going to lie to you. The programs that I use, they do all that for me. So I don't have to have any templates or anything. Me personally, I have Square and I use QuickBooks. And in Square and QuickBooks, they automatically make those they automatically make those receipts for you. So maybe if I can find something online, maybe showing you exactly what the invoices look like to the customer, I can do that. Boom. Okay, so here's the website to purchase the notary supplies. So here, you will want to go, we're going to find the certificate. So here you go. Right here, to get to the screen, you click supplies, and then here you go to other quality supplies. Normally you could pick your state. Let me see. They be updating these websites, so bear with me. I'm going to hit start shopping. Okay, here, you hit the store right here. So let's say we're going to do California. Enter store. This is here where all the supplies for California notaries will take place. So here, go to acknowledgments and jurats, and these are the loose certificates. So these are, we can't zoom in. I was trying to zoom in, but loose certificates, you really need them when you're doing general notary work. And that's only because a lot of times clients will provide documents to you that don't have any type of notarial wording. And when you're notarizing these general notary work, you have to make sure it has some type of notarial wording. You can't just take, for example, this is just a piece of paper that, I've written on. There's no notarial wording on here. You can't take your notary seal and just place it on there. It won't work out. It won't even be official. I see a lot of people do it at the bank, but that's not the right way to do it. You definitely need some type of notary certificate. Now, to determine what notary certificate to use, that's not something that you can do. You can't tell them exactly which one to use, and that's only because unless you're a licensed attorney, you can provide that information to them. But you're just a notary, and your job is only there to verify the identity and also make sure that the signer signs the documents in your presence. So with that being said, with the notary certificates, you have to make sure that you have your own. Whenever you do, you always request to the client, you carry these on you. And when you carry these on you, you want to make sure that, you let the person know, like, okay, here is the certificates. You could pick which one that you would like to choose. And when they pick the one, it's them picking it out, and basically you're just going to notarize it. You can't really give any type of advice. You could tell them what the form means, as far as the difference between the acknowledgement and the jurats. You can do that, but you can't necessarily pick which one that they sign. I want to stop and answer this question. So when you're using Square, do you charge tax? Um, no, I believe it. No, I don't charge tax. I don't charge tax at all. And I don't, each state is different on what you can charge to the client. So you really want to have to make sure you check out that Secretary of State website to see what charges that you're allowed to charge in your state. Every state is different. Some states you're not allowed to do that. Some states you can charge, some of them you don't. But no, there's no taxes being charged on that. How do you set your rates? My rates are, so I want to go more into that in a little bit, I believe. Let me see. Now, okay, so I already talked about that. Okay, so yeah, that actually is the next thing that I want to go by. So, how I set my rates, really, to be honest, the fees are normally determined by your state that you're working in. Each state has different guidelines on what you can charge and how much you can charge for each notarial act. So here, for example, say if per notarial act, some places $10 per notarial act. So that means that person can charge $10 per notarial act that they have. So say if someone you have to perform 2 notarial acts at that person's house. That would be $20 just for the notarial act. Oh, okay. Yeah. Karen, are you saying the client chooses whether they use? Yes, ma'am. They choose. They absolutely choose. You can tell them what the document means and explain that to them, but you cannot pick that. You cannot pick what document they use. Yes. So back to what I was saying about the fees. So with the notary acknowledgments, with the notarial acts, you can, if you only charge $10 per notarial act, that's all you can charge. If your state allows you to charge the travel fee, you can charge that too, based upon the mileage or where you're traveling to. And normally, you actually find the rates for the mileage actually on the IRS website. Normally, you could generalize things. That's why when on these general notary work calls, it's very important for you to ask the signer where are they located at. And normally with general notary work calls, they will be in your area. Hopefully, you know your community a little bit, towards those certain parts that that part that's 20 miles or 30 miles or whatever the case may be. You already have an idea what it is, on how much to charge, for that fee to travel. But every state is different. Every state is different. Some states don't allow you to charge that. So you really have to look at your Secretary of State website. Definitely look for the handbooks that you have for your state, for the notaries, and seeing exactly what kind of fees are even authorized in your state. Okay, so now that what I just went over is pretty much on you just setting up your notary, your business for general notary work. I went over the fees, mileage, and invoicing. Those are the key things that you need to know first before you start taking general notary work appointment. So now, when you get the phone call for general notary work, a lot of times some people are scared to do general notary work. Some people just have a hard time understanding, what to do. But for the call on how I really make it smooth and easy process, and so that way I do not waste my time. When the borrower first call, not when the borrower, when the client first calls, there's questions that I ask them. Normally, the phone call always starts off, "Hey, I need mobile notary services. What are your fees?" But that's normally how every conversation starts off for general notary work. If it's somebody in the local community, that's just pretty much how it starts off. What are your fees? And I don't go into my fees right away. I don't tell them. I don't say, "Oh, it's $5 per notarial act." No. I get the information first, because when we get the information first, then I can properly quote them for a fee. So normally I always ask them, okay, Thank you for calling. How you doing? Blah blah blah. Just a small introduction. I don't really have a big script, and that's only because really I'm very organic, and I just at least I say I just have an introduction that I do, for all the customers. So I always ask them the following questions. I normally ask them, well, how many documents do you have, and what kind of document is it? I ask those questions because I'm very familiar with just the different type of documents that is out there. And that's just based upon, just receiving so many phone calls. I just became familiar with the documents. So normally I always ask them what kind of information, what kind of document they're using, because normally I can already tell how many people are signing. If it's a document that requires me to have my seal in more than one location, I can quote them on there. I'm gathering information for this phone call, so that way I can quote them. I always ask them how many documents they have. Always ask if they have copies of the document, because sometimes what people will do is, especially with the power attorneys, they'll have like 6 power attorneys. So you have to charge accordingly for those. Always ask how many signers it is, because in some states, there's a fee that you charge, for any signers. Like maybe like I think it's $1 here per extra signature besides the one on the document. And then I ask them where they're located at. Now I ask all those questions, and then I gather that information, and I'm already doing the math in my head. So by the time we're at the last question, I already know what I'm going to charge them for the notarial act. I already have an idea. I already know. So now the location is the last place, and then I calculate that fee in my head just based off, because I know the area. I learned the area, and I state the fee. Normally I state the fee after all that, because sometimes people are not really even aware of what a mobile notary service is. Also, during that introduction, just to go back, during that introduction, I do always inform them what my business is. I tell them, yes, I'm a mobile notary service. I come directly to you. And when you start the phone conversation off like that, one, eliminates those phone calls when people are like, well, I can meet you, for $7, because some people don't want to pay the travel fee, which is understandable. But, if they don't want to pay the travel fee, then I look at it, they don't need me. They don't need this service. And, maybe they can go somewhere, they can go to the bank or something, they don't need the service. My service is a mobile service. That's it. It's not nothing for you to meet me. I'm mobile service. That's how, people make their money. We're trying to make the money, from the notarial acts all the way up to the travel fee. Did anyone have any questions about anything that I actually just said? I know I said a lot. I can still see your comments. Okay. So that's all. No. All right. So then after I state my fee, and if that person agreed to it, normally then I go to inform them, and I tell them, okay, in order for me to lock in your time and the location or whatever, the time and location, I require a deposit towards the appointments. That way I don't have to worry about no one wasting my time. Because sometimes what they'll do is they'll get on the phone and they'll call somebody else. Because sometimes people just shopping around for a cheaper price or free. It's always one or the other, either cheaper price or free. So a lot of times, sometimes, especially with general notary work, people will just cancel. But if I collect that deposit, the chances of them canceling is very low. And then not only that, if they do cancel, they will let you know if they're going to cancel. They're just not going to just not show up. But most of the time they will let you know if they was going to cancel. So after you arrange the time and location, meet with the borrower, and that's pretty much how general notary work goes. Very easy, very simple thing to have set up. I know a lot of people are hung up on loan signings, but you can also make a lot of money, doing general notary work, especially when it's slow with the loan signing sometimes, or sometimes you just don't want to do the loan signings. I mean, they can be a little time consuming too. When sometimes with general notary work calls, you can make $100 call, $200 phone call. It's just depending on what kind of documents that the person has for you to acknowledge. So let me see. We have any more questions, guys? If not, I want to log off. Make sure, guys, tomorrow masterclass, sign up. I'm only taking a few more people, and that's only because I need to make sure I get these emails out to everyone. So let me make sure I put the link in here. Let me see. Oh, I see the question. I'm about to answer it in 1 second. Oh man, I'll take a few more people. It's definitely more people, the better. Because the next one will not be until November. Um, I'm definitely been doing away with the live classes, but if I have a huge amount of people, I might bring it back next month. But for sure the class will not be until November. So there's the link for the class. I want to answer this question. Do you ask the clients to have all the information filled out before you get to home? No, not really, because most time they already have it filled out. But what I do is I do look at the document. It don't really matter to me, to be honest, if they fill it out or not. Now, if they have like a packet of stuff, if you talk to them and it sounds like they have a lot of stuff that need to be filled out, they need to fill that out before. Don't waste our time. And then I don't charge waiting fees and all that. But at the same time, I think people should be courteous and fill things out. But if it's something that that takes time, a lot of time they should fill it out before. And normally, like these wills and power of attorneys, they will already be filled out. Most likely, they'll be filled out before they call you. They'll make sure it's filled out way before they call you. The only thing is they shouldn't sign it. Definitely wait for you. I would say definitely wait, but just depending on too what kind of acknowledgement that they're using. But for sure, before they sign, definitely they should wait for you. So let me see all the questions, everybody. I think so. All right, so I want to hop off. So guys, if you have any questions, make sure you could check out my Facebook at thenotaryinstitution.com. Is the website, and the Facebook is the Notary Institution. YouTube channel, Notary Institution. I am on Instagram. I believe it's the Notary Institution 1. I really don't be on the Instagram a lot, but I am on there. So with that being said, that's all I have for tonight. Make sure y'all have a good night. I hope to see some of y'all inside the masterclass. I know I have some students on here already. Okay, let me see. I want to answer this last question, then I want to hop off. I have had a health. Okay, so let me read it. I had a health directive that the client called for me to notarize, and at the bottom of the health directive said it doesn't be notarized. So in something like that, in a case like that, that's when like you will suggest some type of notary certificate to your client. Not only that, but first of all, you have to even see, was there anything on there that had notarial wording on there? Was there a place for you to place your notary seal at with the correct verbiage on there? That's the first thing you want to actually look at. If just because it say it don't have to be notarized on that document, if someone wants that document notarized, they can do that. But you want to make sure that you provide them, show them a choice of notary certificates that you have, and they will choose one, and then that notary certificate will get attached to that document. Because on the notary certificates, you can actually fill out, what kind of document it is, how many pages it is, and then that notary certificate will get attached to that document. If that makes any sense, if that help you, Sharon. I think it's Sharon or Sharon. Okay, so that is all, everyone. Y'all have a great night, and hopefully I'll see some of y'all tomorrow.